Good morning, Yankees universe. KOD Nation, a stand up. And you DJs, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to this Friday, September 9th episode of the Yankee Morning Brew. It's just a weird morning to wake up to. You know, the Yankees lost. You know, you got the coaches from Virginia Tech getting stuck in the elevator as they're trying to get back to the top after going to get some snacks during the middle of the game. You got the Queen passing away, so we're smoking on that Queen pack this Friday. But yeah, welcome to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Yes, the Yankees lost. I get it. We could be a bit upset, or we could recognize that we won 3 out of 4 and we took a series. Yay! I wish I had the button for the applauses, but the Yankees took a series. We won a series against the Minnesota Twins. One of the first series that we won probably in a long time. Who's this? Listen, you can click the link in my bio and jump on over to the convo on YouTube. That's how I let people on. I have an open panel that I do at 12 o'clock. I see you trying to join on Instagram, but you got to come on over to StreamYard. But yeah, we are here. We are in the building. We do have some show updates. As you guys know, past week we had Scott Braun this Tuesday. Last week we had Jerry Ferrara. If you guys haven't seen those episodes, please go back in the archives. Please go into the channel, watch the video, hit the like button, comment as well in the comment section if you missed it. But next week, we got another guest, another Yankee channel to be exact. This person, they've been doing a lot of work, especially in the Yankees universe between this past year or so. So I want to give a quick shout out to our guest for next week. Tune on in. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Pete Seminetti will be making his appearance on the Yankee Morning Brew. Pete Seminetti, a.k.a. the Mustache Poppy. But Yankee fans, we got a special episode today. I have my guy Nathan come on. Nathan, who covers the Somerset Patriots and the Yankees minor league system. He will come on a little bit later. But let's talk about this game from yesterday because it's a bit frustrating, right? The Yankees, they kept fighting back, The Yankee lineup that we're putting out there right now, it isn't the best or the scariest when it comes to offense, but they were fighting back. Shout out to Miguel Andujar, who had a 2-run home run yesterday. In that 8th inning, a pinch hit Giancarlo Stanton, who just looked lost at the plate right now. He's just, you could tell Giancarlo Stanton hasn't played baseball or swung a bat for a whole month and a half. You could tell by the way he's swinging at the ball. His timing is just off, all the way off. And you saw it yesterday. He was late on fastballs that were literally right there for him. If this was, a month or 2 months ago before he went on the IL, he would have had one in the right field seats, on the left field seats. Regardless, Giancarlo Stanton is struggling. They added DJ LeMahieu to the 10-day IL. So we figured that will come. And it was a swap. DJ went on the IL when Nestor Cortez came off. And Nestor Cortez, he only pitched 4 innings. He missed his past 2 or 3 starts. So they're trying to limit Nestor Cortez right now. And I'm not sure how that's going to play out for the rest of this month going into the postseason. But we lost the game. We lost ground when it comes to the standings. Oh, VSN basketball station. What is good, my guy? Salute, brother. Hope all is well. All is well. He said, if you're free this weekend, link me. I definitely will, bro. I definitely will. If you guys haven't followed the Venture Season Network podcast, please hit my guy up. You know, basketball season's coming up. Knicks season's coming up. So, you know, we're going to have a lot to talk about, my guy. But, yeah, definitely I'll hit you up, bro. Definitely. Thanks for tuning in, my guy. But, yeah, Yankees lost yesterday. The umpiring wasn't the best. That play at first base, 50-50. You know, with Wandy Peralta trying to cover the base, just couldn't tell where the ball was at. That's 50-50. I honestly feel if they would have called him out and they went to the replay, the call would have stand. It's one of those judgment calls that if there is no clear, definitive proof, they're not going to overturn it. And I think yesterday's play was one of those plays. Wandy Peralta probably had it pinned against his glove with his hand. And in the rule book, it has to be pinned with your glove or with your hand. It can't be pinned against your body. And Wandy Peralta had it pinned in his glove with his hand. You know, maybe he had a little bit pinned against his body. We can't tell. You know, but I honestly feel this is one of those calls that are 50-50. That if they would have called him out originally, they wouldn't have changed it. You know, but then in the 9th inning, now this is where I get ticked off because with a runner with one out, Peraza gets on. Aaron Hicks comes through with a double, moving runners into scoring position, second and third. You know they go to walk Aaron Judge because they don't want Aaron Judge to win it to beat him. So they walk Aaron Judge. Gleyber Torres literally had 4 straight pitches that were outside the zone. 2 will call the ball. The first 2 will call the ball, and the second 2 will call strikes. He struck out. Then IKF, who was the hero the game before and the doubleheader, the two games in the doubleheader, he couldn't come through. He couldn't come through. And it was a gut punch. It honestly was. Let's look at the stats real quick because Nathan will be on, and we're going to have a nice conversation with my guy Nathan. He'll probably be on 11:15, 11:20. So let's look at the stats. Let's start off with the Yankees since the Yankees are the losing team. So with the Yankees had Aaron Hicks leading it off in left field. He was 1 for 5. Aaron Judge, the right fielder, was 2 for 4. Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, was 0 for 4. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at third base was 2 for 5. Marvin Gonzalez was 1 for 4. Miguel Andujar. Shout out to Miguel Andujar. Credit to Miguel Andujar. He was 2 for 3. You know, I said it. You know, when they was bringing Miguel Andujar up, if he gets this chance, he has to come through. Take this chance that you got, Andujar, and run with it. Last night was the first home run Miguel Andujar had in over a year. The last home run he hit was in June of last year against the Texas Rangers. So Miguel Andujar went an entire calendar year without a home run at the big league level. I get it. Majority of his time is in the minors. I get it. I understand that. But Miguel Andujar, you have an opportunity now with Benintendi out, with LeMahieu out, with Josh Donaldson going on his, bereavement. Hopefully they just keep him away from the team. I don't know. But Miguel Andujar, you have this chance, take it and run with it. Same thing to Estevan Florial. I love Estevan Florial out there in the outfield. You know, he's putting his bat onto the ball. He's making contact. He was 0 for 3 last night, but it was solid contact he was making. The game before in the doubleheader, the first game, if it wasn't for Carlos Correa making a fantastic play at shortstop, Estevan Florial would have won the game. And then in the second game, he had a hit to left field. And if, Marvin Gonzalez was a little bit faster, he would have had an RBI. So I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the youngins, out of Estevan Florial, Oswald Peraza, Miguel Andujar, Oswaldo Cabrera. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the youngins, and keep them up here. But over to the pitching side of things, Nestor Cortez, he pitched 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Devi Garcia was up here for a little bit, but they sent him back down. Clark Schmidt pitched 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Wandy Peralta, the ageless one, like I said, Wandy, he pitched 2/3 of an inning, no hits, 1 run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. And then Greg Weissert, who has fallen into the line of quality relievers when it comes to this Yankee bullpen. He's moved up in the pecking order, but he gave up a home run yesterday to Carlos Correa, a 2-run shot to Carlos Correa, if I may be exact. He left a slider in the middle of the plate. And no matter how great your slider is, bro, if you leave anything in the middle of the plate, a big league hitter like Carlos Correa, it's going to make you pay for it. And he did. With that 2-run bomb in the 8th inning to put the Twins up to 2-4. But then a surprise outing from Ryan Weber. Weber pitched the innings. He gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. The losing pitcher of record was Wandy Peralta on the night. Now, we look at the division. Let's look at the division real quick. Because I think it's down to 4.5 now. Let's see. Let me just double check. I believe it's down to 4.5. Now with the standings, yep, 4.5 games up on the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa had a day off yesterday. So worst case scenario, if the Yankees get swept coming up by the Tampa Bay Rays, it's the last 3 games the Yankees are going to see the Rays. We would still have a 1.5 game lead in the division. And then Tampa and Toronto, they face each other 8 times over the next month or the rest of the season. So the Yankees have a chance to run away with this division if they could win 3 out of 4, or if they could sweep the Rays. If they could sweep the Rays, if they could take 2 out of 3, all we have to do is take 2 out of 3. That's all we have to do. Take 2 out of 3 against the Rays. The lead in the division will be 5.5 with a month left, and let Tampa and Toronto fight themselves. Right? Baltimore is in 4th place. Baltimore sitting good. Let's check the wild card standings right now. With the wild card standings, you got Tampa, who's in 1st. Seattle's in 2nd, only by half a game. They're behind Tampa Bay. Then you have Toronto. Then you got Baltimore. Then you got Minnesota, who just won against us. So this wild card race is going to shape up really well going down the end part of the season. I'm pretty excited. But let's look over to the Minnesota Twins side of the thing. A second. So now over to the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota Twins, they had Garlick leading it off in right field. They gave a Rise a day off, but Garlick in right field was 0 for 4. Carlos Correa, the DH, was 1 for 5. That one being the massive home run he hit off of Weissert. Jose Miranda, the first baseman, El Bordi, he was 1 for 4. Gio Urshela, the third baseman, was 1 for 4 as well. Gary Sanchez, the catcher, was 3 for 4. Gary getting 3 hits. Then he got 1 RBI also. Celestino, the center fielder, was 1 for 3. Palacios, the shortstop, was 0 for 4. Nick Gordon, the second baseman, was 1 for 4. And Billy Hamilton. Hey, we got a Billy Hamilton sighting. But Billy Hamilton, the left fielder, was 1 for 4. And there was a lot of pinch hitting going on. But one thing, Sonny Gray showed up yesterday. Sonny Gray, he pitched 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Gax came in afterwards. He pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. The former reliever from the Baltimore Orioles, Jorge Lopez, pitched 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Dieber, the lefty, came in afterwards. He pitched 2/3 as well. He gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout himself. And then Michael Fulmer, who was helped out by the umpire late in that 9th inning. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, no run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Fulmer should have been 2 walks because he definitely walked Gleyber Torres. If it wasn't for that umpire, it would have been tied. Hell, they probably would have won it in the bottom of the 9th. All right, Nathan, don't worry. I'll see you when you get here. Because I want to talk with Nathan about Anthony Volpe. Because Anthony Volpe, if you guys haven't been noticing, is killing it in AAA right now. He is killing it. I believe he has a 6-game hitting streak. He had his first AAA home run yesterday. But yeah, Anthony Volpe is killing it down there at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And that's one thing I want to talk to him about. And as well, where we are right now with this team. And Brian Cashman's job security. You guys see it in the title of the video. Brian Cashman, how much job security does Brian Cashman have right now? Nathan will be joining us soon. You see him in the chat right there. So is Venture Season Network Podcast. Like I said, if you guys haven't followed them, please follow my guy at Venture Season Network Podcast. But yeah, how much job security does your guy Brian Cashman have? Because I ultimately believe, and I think that it will all depend on what happens the rest of this month and the rest of the season, because we got like a week or so in October, but the rest of this month. It will all depend what happens with the Yankees going down the stretch. If they blow this division or if they don't. Because we could be mad at Aaron Boone all we want. You know, we understand Aaron Boone is just an extension of the front office. Aaron Boone is just an extension of the analytic department. We understand that. We get that. So you have to start at the top. And the top, yes, is Hal. Yes, is Hal. But it's also Brian Cashman. Now, does Hal have some involvement when it comes to what Cashman can spend? Yes, he definitely does. Hal gives him the budget. Hal tells him, don't go over this budget. If you go over this budget, all right, show to me why we need to go over this budget. Yes, I understand that. But Brian Cashman is presenting these options to Hal Steinbrenner. When it comes to Josh Donaldson, he presented that option to Hal Steinbrenner, and Hal signed off on it. Extending Aaron Hicks, that was Brian Cashman. As much as we love the little players that Brian Cashman finds, the diamond in the roughs, the Clay Holmes, the Nestor Cortez, I get that. Jose Trevino, the relievers, developing Ron Marinaccio. I love it. It's awesome. But you still have some explaining to do, my guy. Now, since being moved over to third base, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has been super productive since moving over to third base. If that was an issue, we should have just moved IKF to third base to begin the year. Kept Andrew Velazquez. Just traded for IKF and just kept Andrew Velazquez. Why do we need Josh Donaldson? And his $25 million contract. That made no sense to me. My man James, salute, brother. Good morning. He said Boone had not fielded a ball or had a plate appearances. He needs to hold those that do accountable. Absolutely. But I don't think Boone is that type of manager, bro. James, I honestly do not believe that Boone is that type of manager. I think he's going to be, he's going to be nice. He's going to be, roses, smiles and everything. I just don't believe Boone is that type of manager. And I got my guy backstage. My man Nathan is backstage. So before I bring Nathan on, I just want to do a little plug for the channel. If you guys haven't watched any of the other shows that we have here on the channel at the Nights of Dejan, watch this little commercial break and we'll be right back. And we are back. Nathan,
What's
what is
up?
good, brother? Good
Hey,
morning, sir.
I love that commercial. That was lit.
I appreciate you, my guys. Yeah, just gotta switch, be diversified,
Yeah,
on the channel. Channels, so many different shows.
first of all, thank you again for having me on the show. You guys are amazing. And by the way,
Of course.
fantastic interview with Scott Braun all the way through. And he's obviously one of the best out there. And you killed it with that. So
Nah, I appreciate you, Nathan. Appreciate you for always showing support ever since day one. But yeah, on the channel we have so many other shows. Not sure if you or anyone else is familiar with it, but last night we just had like our Dejan University. It's a college football show. I'm telling you guys, we got a lot of different shows on the channel. Check them out. But Nathan, before we dive deep into like your area expertise when it comes to the minors, let's talk about last night and where this team is at during the season. What's your thoughts from last night, Laws, when it comes to the umpiring and where we are at on the season? Because I don't think we've really fully dived into it. And what's your thoughts on it? So just give us your perspective.
by the way, before we get started there, are you going to the game tonight for Derek Jeter?
Oh yeah, I'm going to the game tonight. Would you be there?
Yeah, well, I think we're looking at the seats right now. And if we go, then we got to beat up then.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to be in section 419 all the way on the top.
Yeah, we're looking at like 108, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, wherever you're at, let me know and I'll be down there. The reason why I love the 400s for this reason alone. I love sitting on the back of the stadium because it has that natural AC, that breeze that you can't beat it. But yeah, just let me know where you at Nathan. I'll definitely meet up with you, brother.
Yeah. So yesterday's game, I mean, the umpire, man, it was kind of, they were crazy yesterday with the calls and the strike zone, and they were all over the place. And I obviously you can't put the blame on the umpire. I mean, you can put some of the blame on the umpires, but the players have to go out there and play their game and win the game, right? So the umpires will dictate. But I think, like I said, the umpires was crazy, but the Yankees had a chance to win last night. They could have swept the Twins. I mean, obviously you can't win every game, but they had opportunities to come. I mean, they almost came back, but they had other opportunities to take the lead yesterday, and they couldn't come through for some reason against the Twins. And by the way, congrats to the Twins winning the World Series yesterday against us.
Yeah,
it was like a World Series win for them yesterday. But but I mean, I'm like one loss will not hurt. I mean, I feel like I think they need to shift focus now into tonight against the Rays, because this is a big series coming up against the Rays. They need to focus on this series alone. But yesterday's game was just crazy. I mean, the umpire was horrible yesterday, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
The play at first base, did you see it with Wandy Peralta? And those are that's one of those judgment calls that if they would have called it the opposite way, if they would have called him out, I think even with them calling it out, I think New York would have not overturned it, because those one of those bang bangs that whatever the umpire called in the beginning is what's going to stick, because they don't have definitive proof to swap it, to switch it.
Yeah, I didn't even see that play because yesterday we were covering the Rutgers women's soccer game for Jersey.
Oh, nice.
So I couldn't see like the end of the game. I saw only the beginning, but we were covering the soccer game. But I didn't catch the play. But I mean,
and that's one thing. I'm sorry, Nathan. That's one thing I got to give you credit for. And shout out to the Jersey Sporting News, and shout out to you, Nathan, for the NNR hour. Because one thing about you, bro, is that you have so much diversity on your channel when it comes to sports. It's not just covering men's sports. You cover them all. You have women coaches on, women players on. That's one thing I got to give you credit for, bro. And that's why I'm a big fan of your channel.
Oh, thank you so much, and vice versa. We're big fans of your channel, and you guys are killing it, man. So you have to keep it like I said, like when we meet someone, all these people on podcasts, we consider podcast family. So
yeah, no, definitely. I appreciate the sentiment. So back to the game, and I get it. We can't blame the umpires for everything, right? We can't, but and especially when the Minnesota Twins were playing sloppy, they were playing like they wanted to give us the game away, and the Yankees just couldn't get that knockout blow. What's your thoughts on Sonny Gray coming back to Yankee Stadium, pitching 6 innings and only giving up 2 runs, bro?
Well, the home run, I mean, when he gave up the home run, who hit the home run against Sonny Gray?
Andujar,
yeah. So when Andujar hit the 2-run home run, I was like, oh, here we go again. Sonny Gray can't pitch in New York. But somehow, for some reason, when the Yankees trade, I mean, when when the Yankees trade the pitchers that struggle in New York, for some reason they get a jolt of energy and start pitching well again. And Sonny Gray, after that home run, he settled himself down.
Mm-hmm.
I heard, and he pitched his game. And I mean, for sure, I don't know what it is with all these pitchers who struggle in New York and they find it with a different team. But when he gave up the home run to Andor, I said, okay, here's the New York wow. The bad vibes from in New York, but he settled down and he pitched good, and I'm surprised the Yankees couldn't get any more runs off of him. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and I get it. This lineup was resembling very much a spring training lineup when they split the squads 50-50. But I'm not sure if you saw. I'll send it to you after the show. But did you see the conversation that Jordan Montgomery had on the CC Sabathia and Ryan Rucco podcast?
R2C2, yes, I saw some of it. I didn't see the whole. I didn't see everything, but only some of it.
Yeah, because you bring up a point about, like, some pitchers, they can't pitch in New York, and it's true. It's true. But listening to that interview, it made me realize that it may be 50-50. It may be the pressure on New York and the Yankee coaching staff at the same time, because Jordan Montgomery said that, listen, the Yankees told him to stay away from his fastball. He doesn't have a good fastball. He can't control it. It's not dominating. So that's why people were just sitting on that curveball and that changeup from Montgomery. What's your thoughts on that and how he was able to evolve himself as a pitcher?
By the way, I'm just happy Montgomery found the right situation for him, and the Yankees did him right. He was one of my favorite pitchers in New York. Obviously, it didn't work out here, but he's pitching like an ace in St. Louis right now, which is amazing. And I mean, I agree with what he said. I think, like you said, pressure. The pressure sometimes gets to these players in New York, and I think. He changed. Obviously, I don't know what St. Louis did. Maybe they changed his repertoire, but he is locked in right now with St. Louis, and he's doing big things there. And I feel like, I guess, a change of scenery for some players gives them like a jolt of energy. So I feel like I see where he's coming from with that interview with CC and Ryan, and but I got to see more of it. But I agree what he said, and like I said, good luck to him, and he fits perfectly with St. Louis. Yep.
Yeah, he definitely does. St. Louis, it's a baseball town. Like, they have so much culture, so much history when it comes to baseball.
And
so
he gets to learn from the best.
He gets to learn from Adam Wainwright and from Yadi Molina, who's his catcher. So that situation that he has going over it's special, and it's special because he has Wainwright, he has Yachty, and he gets to enjoy the Albert Pujols chase for 700. You think Albert is September 9th? He just needs 5 more. You think Albert can muster up 5 more?
I think he can. Yep.
I think he can too.
I want to see him do it at home, though. That would be special.
Yeah, I want to see him. I want to see him do it at home and just pitch to Albert. Just give him fastballs. If he hits it, he hits it. Just pitch to Albert. Don't do what you're doing to Aaron Judge to Albert Pujols.
Yeah, I mean, with the Aaron Judge situation, I'm kind of like, I mean, I know the teams are they don't. I mean, obviously the teams are putting on pressure on Yankees now, where the other players have to step up. And I mean, I guess the pitchers don't want they don't want to be part of the history on the wrong side of it. But I mean, there's come to a point where it's kind of unfair for a Judge, where they start walking him and he might not get to the record. But one of my friends brought up a good point today at the gym, saying with all he said the roster expansions with these young pitchers, they want to attack the hitter. So I wouldn't be surprised with all these young pitchers coming up now with the roster expansion. They would, if they pitch against Judge. He said that don't be surprised if they attack Judge, because they want to face competition when they get called up.
No, definitely, and we saw it in the first game of the doubleheader when I think it was Valander, or however he pronounces his name. He went after Judge in his first at bat and struck him out. That's it. And so you see it, and I hopefully Judge. I think he will get to that home run record for Roger Maris. I was really hoping that he'll be able to catch Barry Bonds, but that's just too far away. That's just too far away. But let's get into the minors, because Anthony Volpe had his first home run at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Nathan, lead the conversation with this. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, when it comes to Volpe, I'm upset that we can't cover him anymore with Somerset. But I mean, obviously he deserves this call up. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
he's taking every opportunity right now, and we're happy for him. And Somerset, I mean, Somerset did a nice poster about him when he got called up. Said thank you for the memories. And man, since he got called up to AAA, he's been consistently hitting. And then yesterday we saw him hit 2 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday's game, and this guy's unbelievable. And like I said, I even said on your show, Yankee fans have to relax because Brian Cashman is doing something right here, and I think he's 100% right here with the Volpe. He's the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
He can hit. Obviously, he has more power than Jeter, by the way, in my opinion. And then he can play defense, obviously. And the one interesting. Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Eric.
The one interesting thing is though when where are they going to put this is what I'm really concerned about when it comes to all these shortstop prospects. Obviously, Praz is a shortstop. I wonder if when Volpe gets to the big leagues, whenever it is, I wonder where they're going to put Peraza. That's the big question right there. Where they're going to
Mm-hmm.
put Peraza, and obviously Cabrera can play anywhere. But
Mm-hmm.
the question is where they're going to put Volpe and Peraza because I feel like they can be the future pieces there. And then maybe you trade Glaber, and that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Definitely trading Glaber. And speaking about Volpe, right?
Yeah, well,
Doing a little backtracking, like researching that I've been doing, and every interview I see with Anthony Volpe, I don't know what it is with the Yankees prospects, if they have them go through like a PR, like training, everything, but he sounds just like Aaron Judge. You know, you interviewed him firsthand, so give us that perspective of interviewing him and how he's so well prepared with his answers.
That was something special for us. I will never forget that moment when we got to interview him in the media day with Somerset, and that will always be part of our journalism career. I asked him about what was it like playing with Giancarlo Stanton. Remember when Stanton rehabbed with Somerset?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I asked him that, and he said he answered it well. He said I got to learn from the best. The way he goes about his business, and he helps out these young hitters when he was there, and his techniques when it comes to hitting. And he said he learned a lot from Giancarlo. And like you said, his interviews are seamless, like Judge, and he gets along with the media. He's a good, cool to hang out with and ask questions to. And but he's a great young kid, and Yankee fan, like I said, Yankee fans should be excited for this because this is like the prize prospect right now.
Yeah, and when you talk about where certain players are going to play, we can see it that we could put Volpe at shortstop, Peraza at second base.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cabrera, he could play all throughout, you know, wherever, like you said. But one player that I think is going to be a dark horse in this conversation is Trey Sweeney.
Yes.
Trey Sweeney, he has more power than Volpe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Trey Sweeney, I think, is going to be a third baseman that's going to be slept on. He's going to be one of those prospects that just come out of nowhere. What's your thoughts on Sweeney?
Either way, we're going to cover him next week with Somerset, so I can't wait for that. But actually, congrats to him getting called up from Hudson Valley to Somerset. I know you've been to some Hudson Valley games, right?
I've been to Hudson Valley games when they come to Brooklyn to see the Brooklyn Cyclones. Yeah, so I've seen Trey Sweeney and Anthony Sigler, who I'm a big fan of. Anthony Sigler, the catcher. Yeah.
Obviously, Jason Dominguez is still there, but when it comes to Trey Sweeney, Somerset is going to fall in love with him. Obviously, yesterday he had a big game for them, hitting a home run and hitting a single. This guy has a nice lefty swing, and he knows how to play defense. And man, I can't wait to see him in person next week. Hopefully, get to interview him at some point. But Trey Sweeney, man, this is another top. He's number 6 right now in the Yankees prospect list. I'm just imagining this Yankee infield right now.
Yeah.
Peraza and Sweeney, and then I don't know who the first baseman will be in the second base, but your whole left infield could be fun to watch for the next 20 to 30 years, maybe.
Well, one thing about the Yankees, right, is when it comes to pitching prospects, they're hit or miss when it comes to pitching prospects. But when it comes to position prospects, they're able to get some of the best ones. So if you look at the Yankees minor leagues, their top 10, you got Volpe, you got Dominguez, you got Peraza, you got Austin Wells, who I believe should move to first base. I love Austin Wells. You got Elijah Duran, like you talked about him last time you was on the show, and you got Trey Sweeney. Those are 6 position players that if the Yankees are able to hit with those 6 players, they're going to be set for the next 6 to 10 years with just those players alone.
Speaking of Austin Wells, he was on. We interviewed him in Somerset.
Nice.
Like it was 3 weeks ago. He was another great kid to talk to. And I think he was yesterday. He was talking to Sweeney Murdy. I think. Yeah, he was on the Sweeney Murdy show, and the guy who the guy who with Sweeney, he covers a lot of minor league baseball too for the Yankees, and he was on that show. But man, Austin Wells, his swing is he can hit. I mean, catch also. You can play him at first base, I think. Also, to develop into a first baseman. But this guy, I'm not saying he's Bryce Harper, but the way he plays the game reminds me of Bryce Harper.
His swing to me just says you have to move him out of the you have to move him to first base because you don't want to waste that swing at the catching position. You don't want his knees to get messed up. When I went, because I went in the summertime, like right before July 4th, to go see the Tampa Tarpons, and that was Austin Wells' first game for the Tampa Tarpons, and he hit a home run in that game, and he literally Nathan, when I tell you it left George Steinbrenner's field, it literally left George Steinbrenner's field. He hit it out the park. So Austin Wells, to me, like you said, you're not far off when you compare his swing to Bryce Harper because he has the power and he has the capability. And that mustache, he just looks like a Yankee.
Yeah, he's falling into he knows what he's doing with Nestor Cortez and Matt Carpenter.
Yeah. That when I was down there, that's when like the mustache thing first started like catching and becoming trendy. So I was already saying, oh yeah, this kid's trying to get called up.
If the Yankees fans want to be excited, there's another one that we should be looking out for. Spencer Jones, the guy we drafted this year. He's been killing it too. This guy from Vanderbilt, I think. Yeah, Vanderbilt. He has a lefty swing, like what Austin Wells did. And this guy, he is 6 foot. He's the height of Aaron Judge. He's like a lefty Aaron Judge. I mean, Cashman is nailing. He's doing a great job when it comes to the draft. Like you said, position players. He finds great talent. But the pitching wise, like I told you on the other show, pitching wise, there's some good pitching prospects coming up.
Yeah,
we have to be patient with them. So
yeah. No. When it comes to pitching prospects, yeah, we definitely could be patient. I was a big fan of Luis Medina before we traded him to Oakland and that trade for Montas. But hold on, Albert Willis says, thanks for talking about the minor plays. Yeah. Absolutely. That's why I got my guy Nathan, and that's why I'm trying to see if Nathan could come on regularly so we could talk about these type of things. But with Spencer Jones, like you said, he fell to us. Like he was a gift that fell to us, right? A lot of people that know he was a dual type of he was a pitcher and a hitter. The Yankees said scrap the pitching and just focus on hitting. He got Tommy John surgery. That's why he missed the entire year, and that's why he fell to us later in the first round. I honestly believe if he didn't have that injury and he didn't miss that entire year, he would have been a top 5 player. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he would have been taken before us. He would have been off the board, in my opinion. This guy can actually, if he did have the Tommy John surgery, if he didn't get injured, I think we could have seen another Shohei Ohtani here. Maybe he could continue with pitching and hitting. And like I said, his hitting is off the charts. He's above advanced hitter. I don't know about his defense. I got to look at his defensive metrics, but his offense is off the charts, in my opinion.
Yeah, and on top of it, he was drafted as a center fielder, just like Aaron Judge. It's not like he just gets stuck in right field. No, he's drafted as a center fielder, so he has the capability of playing center field. So, they're going to move him to a corner spot, but I think to me, that stands out more than anything. The fact that he was drafted as a center fielder, it shows his versatility. It shows that you can put him in center and left and right field.
And can I tell you, I think you were talking about Brian Cashman earlier to your fans. I want to bring up Brian Cashman. Obviously, he gets criticized so much that he hasn't done any moves. But this shows you don't have to overpay for stars if you be patient with these players, because they can end up being stars if they develop the right way. And these Yankees prospects are developing the right way. And Brian Cashman, he has a potential of having this team being a dynasty again. When we had the core 4, but this could be like the core 8 or 9, whatever. Because if all this pans out, Brian Cashman is a genius, because obviously George Steinbrenner loves to pay and spend, but I think to win a championship, you don't look at the Rangers right now. They overpay for superstars, and then look where they are right now. But
bingo,
Cashman is he's being smart with these prospects, and like I said, there's a dynasty waiting to happen here if everything pans out.
It's and I get it, right? And I get and I'm on the same boat as you, Nathan, because I've told this to people. Brian Cashman, he's trying to reinvent the wheel halfway during his career as a GM, right? In 2009, let's just take it back to 2009. We went on a spending spree. We got one championship.
Yeah.
To me, when we signed CC, Burnett, and Teixeira, minimum was one championship. You know, I felt like we should have at least won 2 or 3 championships with that spending spree. He was burnt on the Jacoby Ellsbury contract. So Brian Cashman, he's been burnt on these moves. You know, let's take it back a little bit further. As much as we love Gary Sheffield with the Yankees, as much as we love him, we should have signed Vladimir Guerrero to the same amount of money, right? Yeah. As much as we love Gary Sheffield, he only had 2 productive seasons with us out of the 4 years we signed him. You know, so we can't just always go the money route. You go the money route, you get burnt. Yeah. We got burnt by trying to sign Steve Carsey. We got burnt. We got burnt by signing Kevin Brown. We got burnt. Yeah. Trading for Javier Vasquez. We got burnt. So we got Brian Cashman. He's in a unique situation of trying to reinvent the wheel right now.
Yes, but I mean, like I said, when it comes to pitching, obviously the Somerset Patriots threw a combined no-hitter 2 days ago against Hartford, and the guy who started the game, I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but his name is, I think, Yurdris Gomez, the starter, and the guy who followed him, Steven Jennings. Those are 2 names to watch out for. They have great stuff, nasty stuff, and obviously they throw a no-hitter, but they're still developing, but they could be potential down the line pitchers for us with the Yankees.
Yeah, and hold on one second, because I literally just had him. Gomez was right now he's ranked 12th in the Yankees 12. Prospects, 12, and they have him projected coming to the majors in 2023. What do you think about that? Him potentially being able to either be a bullpen option or a starting rotation option next year?
Man, to be honest, I think there's with Somerset, he's a starter. Right now, but I think he can be a good bullpen piece. But I don't want to. The one thing about like moving these pitchers to bullpen and starter and ruining their reputation, like what happened to Jabba, ruined his reputation. Yeah, but I think this guy. I think they need to keep him as a starter and build up his innings, and I can see him as a future starter.
Nice. So, all right. So I got the top 10 list right now. So Volpe, Dominguez, Peraza, Wells, Pereira, Trey Sweeney, Spencer Jones, Will Warren, Clayton Beater, who we got back from Joey Gallo trade, and Luis Hill. And outside of that, you got Roderick Arias and Yordanis Gomez that you just mentioned right now. So when you look at those 12 prospects right there, if you could give a percentage wise, you think the Yankees like 50, 60, 80? How many of those prospects you think are going to hit for the Yankees?
Ooh, I love Will Warren. We got to interview Will Warren, the pitcher. Man, this guy, he can be a future piece for a team for the Yankees. I would say when it comes to all these, I would say 80%, 80 to 85%.
Nice.
And speaking of Everson Pereira, this guy with Somerset, this guy is underrated. Obviously plays infielder. Man, this guy can play. We've seen him in person. I haven't interviewed him yet, but we've seen him play when we covered them. This kid could play. Everson Pereira.
Yeah, he's a right-handed hitting outfielder who can play left and right field. Yeah. And Everson Pereira, ever since he's been into the Yankees system, he's been undervalued, and he always had to work for the past 3 years, right? At the beginning of the season, when it comes to prospects ranking, Everson Pereira has always been climbing up the prospect rankings every year. By the time the season is over, it was a couple seasons ago that he wasn't even ranked in the top 30, and then he finished 15 at the end of the year. So Everson Pereira has the work ethic, and I think he has the tools to make it to the majors one day.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, like I said, we covered him with Somerset Patriots. I'm hoping we can interview him, but but this guy can play. He still needs to develop. But like I said, he worked. Like you said, he had to work his way up, and he's been doing that with Somerset, and he keeps working hard.
Yeah. Now the Yankees, right? Let's focus back onto the Yankees for tonight. So we got a 3-game series coming up tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays starting tonight. Frankie Montas is starting for the Yankees. So that's a good sign because the last time out against the Rays for 5 innings, he was phenomenal. What's your thoughts on that?
He has good numbers against the Rays, so he should go every time out against the Rays. Maybe pitch tonight,
Basically,
Sunday.
basically.
Yeah, what a great start last time against Tampa, and for him to come back. I mean, to pitch against the same team. Plus, the one thing I'm worried about the Rays, we'll see him again, and maybe they'll do a better job of adjusting to his pitches. But I think, like I said, this is a big series Friday night on Derek Jeter Day, pretty much. All the pressure's on Montez tonight. He has to get the series going for us, and if he finds a way, what he did against Tampa last start, we'll be fine. And we just have to find a way to start off this series in a positive way, especially get a win for Derek Jeter, honoring him. So I think Montez, I can see him pitching good tonight, obviously, but he just has to keep his command going. What he did against Tampa his last start.
Yeah, right now the Yankees have a 4.5 game lead in the division. Right, we have our last 3 games against Tampa Bay coming up, and then after that we face the Orioles, the Pirates, some other teams, whatever. But the Orioles, not the Orioles, but the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays over the next month, they face each other 8 to 9 times. Right, they literally have a 5-game series coming up next week. So I honestly feel that if the Yankees could just win one of these games, just one of these games, we don't have to sweep. We don't got to take 2 out. If the Yankees could just win one of these games, I think our division lead is safe. I do want to win the series. Don't get me wrong. I do want to win the series. But what's your thoughts on where this team is at right now? And do you think we will hold on to this division lead?
Yeah, I think we will hold on to the division lead. It will be fine if you take 2 out of 3 or sweep. But if you lose 2 out of 3, get swept. Obviously, we're in big trouble now. But I think if we sweep the Rays, which is I don't know, but if we do sweep the Rays, we got the division wrapped up, in my opinion. But if we take 2 out of 3, we're still good in there. But if we lose 2 out of 3 and or get swept, we're in big trouble. And I think if that happens, I think there's a chance that we might lose the division. But right now, the Yankees are safe. Like I said, we got to start off the series right. They got to stay locked in all these 3 games and find a way to win. Take it day by day. Just think of it that you're 0-0 right now, and just keep going.
No, yeah, definitely. And then when you look at the potential players we should be getting back, we got Rizzo who should be coming back. Right, we got DJ LeMay who should be coming back, and he should be healthy coming back off of the 10-day IL. Giancarlo Stanton, you saw him yesterday. He looks off. His timing is off, but he should be shaping back into form over the next 2 weeks. What do you think, Harrison? And this is where I fully can't judge the Jordan Montgomery trade until I get to see Harrison Bader. What's your thoughts on Harrison Bader, and what do you think that he would do for the Yankees coming down the stretch?
Well, speaking of Harrison Bader, I don't think they haven't announced his rehab assignment yet. They said Boone said September 13. We're hoping with Somerset, so I can get more insight with Bader.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping too, bro.
They haven't announced yet. I don't know why. September 13th is coming up soon, but I think here's the thing: Josh Donaldson is supposed to come back too, but I would keep IFK at third base and then bench Josh Donaldson, bench him. But when it comes to Bader, like I said, we got to see more of his rehab stuff, and hopefully in Somerset so I can get better insight. But he's a great defender, obviously, and he can help the Yankees out in the postseason, saving runs. I think it's a good problem to have in the outfield. And Aaron Hicks, this puts the pressure on Aaron Hicks again when Bader comes back. So if Hicks has to perform, he's been hitting the ball great lately. Coming up with a big RBI, whatever, in that one game. But when Bader comes up, I think the Yankees should. I think they're going to use him as like a defensive replacement, or obviously hitting too. But I think when it comes, the Yankees value. What's up? Good morning. The Yankees value defense so much now and they're one of the best defensive teams in baseball right now. I think, but Bader will bring more of that, and I think he'll be a valuable piece. But it all comes down to what he does in his rehab assignment.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I was having this conversation with other Yankee fans, and one guy told me, "Oh, that they think that the front office and Boone, they trust Aaron Hicks." And I had to point it out, like, listen, if the Yankees front office, if Aaron Boone, if they really trust Aaron Hicks, I don't think that they would trade a lefty pitcher who is a middle of the rotation type of starter in the middle of the season for a center fielder, right? So I think they're banking on Harrison Bader being that spark plug in center field, being that electrifying type of player, dynamic player like Tim LeCastro was for us early in the season when he was a pinch runner and used to come and steal bases left and right. So I honestly think that Brian Cashman is banking on Harrison Bader to be the next Shane Spencer coming up for September. I'm not sure how much faith I have in that, but at the same time, that's why I said I can't fully judge the Jordan Montgomery trade until I get to see Harrison Bader on the field producing for the Yankees.
Yeah, so I'm looking right now where they said September 13th. I'm just trying to figure out where though.
I'm hoping that he's with Somerset. That's where we could get you. We can have you on breaking it down for us.
It says September 13th, but we'll keep you posted on where.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted, and definitely, besides, even if he's not at Somerset, Nathan will still be on the channel. I'm trying to get him on as much as he wants to be on here. But going into the playoffs, and I've asked this to other guys. I've asked this to Scott Braun. Do you trust this team to make a deep playoff run as the team is constructed right now, right? As it is right now, do you trust this team to get hot and go on a deep playoff run?
Man, that's a good question.
Because we're fans, right? Deep down, we're fans. Deep down, we want this team to win a World Series deep down. But sometimes, right, especially as a content creator or especially as somebody who covers it like yourself, you got to take those fan glasses off, right? And you and I, we both wear glasses. So let's take the fan glasses off. Do you have faith that this team will make a deep run in the playoffs?
Right now, as it's constructed, no. Nope, no. I don't think so, because with the offense is up and down right now. And obviously pitching is a concern. But here's the thing: the only way we make they make a deep run, it's all about getting past the Astros. The Astros is their what do you say? How do you say it? Is their
is their final boss?
Yeah. But yeah, so I think the only way they're going to go far is they get past the Astros, and obviously the Astros giving them fits over the years and over the last playoff series, and you know what happened there. But I think when everybody comes back, and if everybody can come together as a team and start gelling and have the offense consistent, I think that they'll be fine. But right now, as constructed, there's no way they can make a deep playoff run, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say the Yankees, right? The relationship the Yankees and the Astros have is like the relationship the Yankees and the Braves had in the late 90s, right? If it wasn't for the Yankees, the Braves would have won way more championships, right? If it wasn't for the Yankees, but the Yankees beat them a couple of times in the World Series, and so I feel that's the same way it is now with the Houston Astros, right? I've said this earlier in the year. If for some reason the Astros got eliminated from the playoffs and the Yankees made the World Series and won the World Series without beating the Astros, I don't think it would be as sweet as it would be when beating the Astros and winning the World Series. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to beat the best, right? To get where you want to be. So I think the Yankees are up for the competition. They always want to play the Astros. They want to prove them wrong. I think, like I said, I think the Yankees will always want to be. They're always up for competition, and they're not afraid. I mean, I'm just hoping. Hopefully, everybody gets healthy for the playoffs before. I think there's a most likely chance they're going to face the Astros if they get past the first round in the ALCS. Definitely. So I just want everybody to be healthy here with this team, and if they are. I mean, the Astros are not the same, but they're still a great quality team. They lost Correa and Springer, but they still have a lot of great talented players on the team. Bregman, Pena, the shortstop who took over for Correa, and obviously the pitching staff is amazing. Obviously, you can see that, but I think the Yankees, I they just need everyone healthy just for the Astros series, in my opinion.
I,
Because,
I, I'm sorry, Nathan. I was just gonna say I think the Yankees will get past the first round, but like you was just about to say, health is going to be a big factor when it comes to facing the Astros. Now, I want to speaking of health, what's your thoughts on Andrew Benintendi? Do you think we'll see him for the rest of the year, or that's it? Because when the reports came out, it's like nobody knew what happened with him, right?
Yeah.
Everybody kept reporting that it was his hamate bone, but then they said that he got that removed when he was in high school. And then, when you go for x-ray is when they show broken bones. When
Yeah.
you go for MRI, that's deep tissue, that's tendons, that's nerves, that's ligaments. So when it came up from his MRI that he had to get the hook bone removed, everybody is still confused. So it's like, I really don't know what he's out for. Do you think that we'll see him again for this year?
First of all, I didn't even know we had a hook bone in there in the here, right? Somewhere. Yeah, that's crazy. And he didn't even know himself when he got interviewed. The guy asked him something about we won't see him in the before the year ends. I think we might see him in the playoffs. We can see him in the playoffs, but I think right now they got to keep him cautious, get him healthy, because he can. If he comes back for the playoffs, he can be a big asset against the Astros, because obviously he's been hit before the injury. He's been heating up, hitting the ball well, and we need those type of players, especially against the Astros, because Astros do have those type of players where they hit all the time. So Benintendi, save him for the playoffs, in my opinion, because he can be a valuable piece for us in the postseason. But he's a postseason killer. He won the World Series with the Red Sox. He knows all about the postseason. So if you save him for the postseason, a valuable piece.
Yeah, he has the potential to go off like Daniel Murphy went off for the Mets back in 2015. That's the type of player that Andrew Benintendi is. So regardless of what happens, I think the Yankees should retain him after this season going on to next year.
I think here's the thing. It's going to come down to, I don't know how much he wants. I think we can get him on a cheap deal, I think, right? Or you think so? But we got to, but the big question is now, how much money you're going to give to Judge, because that's going to be the big question during the offseason. How can we get Judge back? Obviously, he's going to take the free agency meetings, in my opinion. He's going to test the free agent water since he see what's out there. But the big question is, how can they sway him to come back? And Benintendi, obviously, we want him back. I would love to have him back. But they got the main focus right now is on Judge.
No, it definitely has to be. And you've heard Randy Levine's statements the other day. First, he came out, tried to like pump up the Yankee fans, like, if he leaves, he leaves. And then afterwards, after the backlash, no, we're going to be competitive. We're going to try to re-sign him. Ultimately, I think he does re-sign with the Yankees, but at the same time, I'm scared because Scott Braun brought it up about the San Francisco Giants, and that made me even more scared because he's a baseball insider, right? So, he's not going to tell us the inside scoops that he had, but for him to be so strong and stern with his point, oh no, he thinks that he may sign with the Giants, it gets me a little scared and nervous.
Yeah, me too, obviously. Like I said, Aaron Judge means a lot to the Yankees, like what Derek Jeter meant. He's obviously the best player in the game right now, and we're witnessing history. And Yankee fans needs to enjoy this, because we might never see this type of season again from a player. And and we don't know how. I don't know if we don't know if Judge can repeat this type of season the next season. So we had to enjoy it while it lasts, and I'm hoping the front office they find a way to bring him back. Someone brought I heard something way back. Someone brought up a good point, or one of my friends said, "What if he already made his choice and no one knows about it?" One of my friends said that what if he made his choice already about what team he was going to go to, but no one knows about it yet.
Hey, that's a good point, because this entire year he's been very scriptive and he's been very like X-File-y when it comes to his messaging. And a big point was at the All-Star game when he was being interviewed and everybody was coming at that reporter for the question that she asked him. But you got to understand, if you had her job, it's her job to ask those type of questions and to get the scoop. if you're the reporter who gets that hot take or gets that hot message from Aaron Judge, you're going to be tagged throughout history. You go forever associated with Aaron Judge. What was your thoughts on his messaging at the All-Star game when he told that fan, "Hey, there's other Yankees"?
Oh man, I mean, that I think that caught us off guard a little bit when he said that. But I mean, that the fun thing about the All-Star break is when players can recruit each other at the same time.
Mhm.
Or come to my team, come play with, because the All-Star break is fun, right? So I bet these players were recruiting Judge to come to their teams for
Oh
next
yeah,
year for sure. But I mean, what he said to that reporter, I wouldn't be too concerned, but I don't know. Like he is a West Coast guy, and I think he's a family
Mhm.
person, but we just don't know. But what, like I said, my friend brought up saying, "What if he already made his choice, but he's
Yeah,
not talking anymore right now, obviously. But what if he made the choice and um, we just have to find out, I guess, the end of the year. That's it, pretty
yeah.
much."
Yeah, ultimately, I feel and I believe and I hope that he resigns with the Yankee and retires with the Yankees. But couple more questions before we dip out. Juan Soto being booed by the fans in San Diego. What's your thoughts on that, real quick?
Man, man, Juan Soto. He he that was man. I think he's struggling right now, right?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, he's hitting since the trade. He's hitting 220 since the trade.
I mean, I guess he deserves to get booed. It's like what happened when Stanton got here. He got booed when he was 0 for 5 in his first game. He got booed, but I mean, I guess he gets it because he came here to bring high expectations to this team and produce
Mhm.
right away and make the Padres more exciting for these fans. But right now, it's not happening. And obviously, with Tatis Jr. suspended, that's a big loss. And obviously, all the team the team is struggling whole right now. They're
Mhm.
struggling. Obviously, they're not going to win the division, but they're going to make the playoffs. But I don't see them
Yeah.
going far this year. Probably next year when everybody's
Mhm.
back. But I mean, yeah, Juan Soto, man, they brought you in here to produce, and right now he's not producing, and I'm hoping he can change it because he's a heck of a player, a young talent, and the best player in the game, but he's not showing you right now.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe somebody has to check to see if San Diego has a curse on their franchise, because every time San Diego make moves that you think, all right, this is going to put them over the head, they never worked out. That
No,
year that they traded for James Shield, they got Justin Upton, they traded for
and
Will Myers, Matt Kemp, everybody. Oh, yeah, this is the year. And the total landslide, and it's been like that for the past 3 seasons also. Ever since they got Machado, it's been the same thing, Look, they let Ty France go to Seattle. Look what Ty France is doing in Seattle because they wanted to sign Machado. So it's as much as Yankee fans want our team to spend money and trade prospects,
it didn't work out. Yeah.
it's not going. This is a caution sign. This is why you don't do that, because now you're in a tailspin like the San Diego Padres, and they traded all their top prospects. So they don't even have top prospects anymore. So they could try to like fill in. So that's why you got to be cautious. Now, before we go, I want to ask you predictions on tonight. What's your score, do you think, for tonight before we dip out?
I mean, I'm hoping we can, me and my friends, bro. Hopefully, we can get to the game tonight, and if we do, then like I said, we got to meet up in person.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I think I'm going to say this: Frankie Montes goes 6, 7 innings, maybe like 7, 8 strikeouts, 2 to 3 runs, 4 or 5 hits, and then the Yankees will win. I think this is where the offense will break out tonight. I think they win. I think Derek Jeter are going to motivate. Maybe I think Derek Jeter ceremony is going to motivate them. I think the Yankees will win 8-2, 8-3.
Listen, Nathan. I'm definitely on board with that prediction because I'm trying to go to the stadium and enjoy a win tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go there and get a loss. But Nathan, I appreciate you for coming on, bro. We got to do this more often.
Yes.
Whenever you're available, you just let me know, and I'll message you tonight. But you just let me know whenever you're available, and you got an open door policy here. Whenever you want to come on, you could come on,
Thank you.
brother.
And we got to get you on our show too.
Yeah, whenever you want, and anybody else from the NNR hour, if they want to come up here, they could more than welcome to come up here, brother.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Keep up the great work. keep killing it. Obviously, a great reporter in the game, and podcast family. And let's go Yankees. Hopefully, we get to see you tonight in the stadium. But let's go Yankees, and we'll keep you updated on Harrison Bader, all the minor league prospects, and once we get the news where he's going to be rehabbed, I'll let you guys know. So.
All right, thank you, Nathan. It was a pleasure, bro. Like always, bro. Peace out. You. And if you're there, I'll see you later on tonight, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Later, peace, my guy. That was my guy Nathan from the NNR Hour, as well with the Jersey Sports Network. So if you guys aren't following the NNR Hour, please go ahead, follow my guy Nathan. I got my man Mikey Mazza in the chat, the 4 Train Express. Salute, salute, salute. What is good? Guys, I know I said I was going to have the open panel today, but I can't just because I got to do some runarounds before the game tonight. But I appreciate everybody who came in. My man Frankie Rivera. Frankie, hey, yo, Frankie. Appreciate you, brother. And as well, my guy Keith Saunders, who I'll be at the game with later on tonight. Eric as well. Appreciate you. Yeah. You know, with the Rays and Toronto having to meet each other up so many times, 8 more games the rest of this month, the Yankees, their division lead is safe. If we could just win 2 out of 3, I think we'll be good when it comes to the division. My man Albert Wheeler, the Wheels. Appreciate you, my guy. Definitely, Keith. We are definitely going to be lit tonight. Guys, this has been another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, tapping in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Comment on the video as well because it's really good and it helps us out with the algorithms from YouTube. I am your guy, Project Nerd HQ, and peace.